And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?"
Jesus said, "If you say so." But when the chief priests and the elders accused him, he would not answer.
And Pilate said to him, "Do you not hear how many accusations they make against you?"
But he gave him no answer, not even to a single charge, so that the governor was greatly amazed.
Now at the festival, the governor was accustomed to release a prisoner for the crowd, anyone whom they wanted. At that time, they had a notorious prisoner called Jesus Barabbas. So after they had gathered, Pilate said to them, "Whom do you want me to release for you? Jesus Barabbas, or Jesus who is called the Messiah?" For he realized that it was out of jealousy that they had handed him over.
While he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent word to him, "Have nothing to do with that innocent man, for today I have suffered a great deal because of a dream about him."
Now the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowds to ask for Barabbas, and to have Jesus killed. The governor again said to them, "Which of the two do you want me to release to you?" And they said, "Barabbas."
Barabbas.
Barabbas.
Barabbas!
Pilate said to them, "Then what should I do with Jesus who is called the Messiah?" All of them said, "Crucify him."
Crucify him!
Them said, "Crucify him."
Crucify him.
Crucify him.
Then he asked, "Why? What evil has he done?"
But they shouted all the more,
"Crucify him."
Crucify him.
Crucify him! So when Pilate saw that he could do nothing, but that a riot was beginning, he took some water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood. See to it yourselves."
Then the people as a whole answered, "His blood be on us and on our children."
He released Barabbas. And then after flogging Jesus, he handed him over to be crucified. The soldiers of the governor took Jesus to the governor's headquarters. And they gathered the whole cohort around him. They stripped him and they put a scarlet robe on him. And twisting some thorns into a crown, they put it on his head. Put a reed in his right hand and knelt before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, the King of the Jews." They spat on him. And they took the reed and they struck him on the head. After mocking him, they stripped him of the robe and they put on his own clothes on him, and then they led him away to crucify him.
As they went out, they came upon a man from Cyrene named Simon. They compelled Simon to carry the cross, and when they got to a place called Golgotha, which means place of the skull, they gave him some wine to drink that was mixed with gall. He tasted it, but he would not drink any more.
And when they had crucified him, they divided his clothes among themselves by casting lots. Then they sat down there and kept watch over him.
Over his head they put the charge which read, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews."
Then 2 bandits were crucified next to him, one on his right, one on his left. Those who passed by derided him, shaking their heads and saying, "You who would destroy the temple in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross."
In the same way the chief priests also, along with the scribes and the elders, were mocking him, saying, "He saved others. He cannot save himself. He is the King of Israel. Let him come down from the cross now, and we will believe him. He trusts in God. Let God deliver him now, if he wants to, for he said, 'I am God's son.'"
The bandits who were crucified with him also taunted him in the same way.
From noon on, darkness came over the land until 3 in the afternoon. And about 3, Jesus cried with a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani.
That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?
When some of the bystanders heard this, they said, "This man is calling Elijah."
At once one of them ran and got a sponge, filled it with sour wine, and put it on a stick and gave it to him to drink.
But the others said, "Wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to save him."
Then Jesus cried again with a loud voice and breathed his last.
At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom.
The earth shook, and rocks were split.
The tombs were also opened, and the bodies of many of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. After his resurrection, they came out of their tombs, entered the holy city, and were seen by many.
Now when the centurion and those with him who were keeping watch over Jesus saw the earthquake and what took place, they were terrified. And they said,
Truly, this man was God's son.
Truly, this man was God's son.
Truly, this man was
God's son.